All right, hello everyone. So it's my pleasure to be able to talk today about my city, Brussels. I've been living here for more than 25 years now, and I really appreciate living here. It was even selected in the finalists for being the greenest European city in Europe, but in the end it was the English that won it. One of the reasons maybe is because of the problem that we have with our road transport system. But we got the prize here of being the champions of the world of congestion. Another problem is the bad air quality in Brussels. We got 2 weeks ago another smog alarm, and it was even underestimated by the authorities. So a very big problem in Brussels. And then another problem that we don't often think about when we talk about road transport is noise problem. And actually, well, I cannot really show you on the map, but here we are in one of the darkest points in Brussels. If you just step outside after the break, you can hear that there is lots of noise around here. So I'm talking here about road transport, but the debate here is often focused on cars and on passengers. And logistics is often underestimated. So in the next slides, I just want to show you how big is the problem in Brussels. So here you can see the share of freight vehicles in traffic, and you can see that especially in the morning, it accounts for 45% of the traffic. And in the next slide, I'll show you that in absolute numbers. So you can see that the peak of freight vehicles is especially during the morning, and that it doesn't really take into account the morning rush hour. But another thing I want to show you here is the red bars. Red bars is the quantity of vans. And when you look at this picture, you can see the external cost of each freight vehicle, and you can see that vans are actually performing very bad. And this explains why we have such a bad air quality in Brussels. Here you can see that the share of emissions from transport, and you can see that freight is responsible of half of the NOx emissions. In blue, it's in blue, the freight emissions, the emissions from freight vehicles. So, well, my point here is that we are having lots of problems from freight vehicles, and we need to find solutions. And we are actually here in Brussels tackling some challenges, and here I just want to list 3 of these challenges. The first challenge is to optimize transport flows. We need to operate freight transport more efficiently, and one way to do it is to avoid multiple vans driving around the city and group freight into one truck. An example of such a case was the TNT case that was several times described. So instead of having a van doing the shift several times a day, it was just one truck. Another case that will soon start is the case of an urban consolidation center within the Lebeau project. So the idea here is to provide a logistics platform into the city in order to be able to optimize the last mile with one truck to make the final deliveries. Now another challenge, a second challenge that we have to face in Brussels is this typical problem of city logistics. We need space, we need to provide delivery zones. We have them already, but the problem is that they are not respected. So one solution that was developed by several municipalities here in Brussels is just to replace the ban of parking on delivery zones by allowing the cars to park on these delivery zones, but they have to pay 100 euros. So it's an incentive for them not to use these delivery zones. And then finally, a last challenge is to introduce cargo bikes and electric vehicles in order to reduce the emissions and also to reduce noise levels in the city. We conducted in the research group of MOBI in the VUB a total cost of ownership analysis on electric and conventional vehicles, and the conclusion was that these vehicles here are actually competitive with conventional vehicles, but for larger vans the electric solution was not that competitive compared to conventional vehicles. And well, since the next part of the workshop will be on night deliveries, I just wanted to say something about it, especially for electric vehicles, to make a bit the promotion, because I guess that it can have really it can be an interesting solution in order to make night deliveries acceptable for the population because of this noise, of the noise properties of the electric vehicles. Thank you very much.